Welcome to Happy Hour, a quick sixer podcast with two dudes, six beers, and six topics. Crack open a beverage and enjoy the ride.
It's your boys.
So, let's go ahead and get this.
Mine's already open. You see my cat in the background?
I do.
She wants to be a part of that Zoom
nice addition. Okay. Let me pour this boy out. So we're having before we welcome to the show, having Drew. Drew, what do you get first?
I got the Stella Artois special. Was it solstice?
Yeah. So something I've been trying to find, I can't find. And on my end, we got the Bearded Iris Ever Clever Double IPA.
Speaking of Bearded Iris, Iris taking a bath behind us.
So, double irises. Double irises. Yeah, this is that 8.5%. Here we go. Oh, and that Bearded Iris glass too. Ooh.
Oh, I liked that.
It's nice. So once I get this poured, we'll tell you why you're hearing our voices again.
You get like priority, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I gotta get ready.
Podcast is second to pouring a beer.
100%. So, welcome back. Quick Sixer, kind of season 3, kind of not. We're gonna call it something different. Kicking around some ideas. So, welcome to Quick Sixer Happy Hour.
Yeah.
This is it. So we decided a little while ago, we gave this a test run, and we decided that me and Drew want to come back and just do the thing, you know? Try to come back with a positive message, though, this time, instead of just getting hammered and getting some free products every now and then.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Well, maybe.
I definitely like still getting hammered, but it is a good time to start doing something positive in the world. I mean,
yeah,
with everything that's going on, it just makes sense. And especially like on top of all this, like Pat moved to Nashville. So, which is the main reason why we weren't doing the podcast anymore. And it kind of like, it's funny how all of this situation allowed for businesses and companies to start using things like Zoom, which is what we're using right now to meet and connect and stuff. And even though there was like FaceTime and Skype, people didn't really think about this kind of thing for, you know, what we're doing at the time. You know, it was just kind of awkward.
It was awkward, but now it's necessity.
And it's normal.
Yeah, normal. Yeah, it's definitely been normalized, which is kind of cool. I mean, I'm pretty psyched. Like what Drew said, moved to Nashville. My wife got a job that I thought was cool and we should pursue. So we packed it up. I did one last show and then we dipped out. And since then, I ended up working on, I guess I can say this, I worked on the last season of Nashville in the accounting department over there. Great people. Shout out to all those guys. Well, ladies, it's a mostly female team.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And they're all great. You know, they're the best. They went on to do, after season 6 in Nashville, when I got canceled, they ended up going up to the Boston area to do that Netflix show, The Society. Almost did Watchmen, but turned that one down. Yeah, it would, dude. If you haven't seen the new Watchmen series, it's incredible.
You kicking yourself for that?
No, I'm not, because they were like, "Oh, we can't take everybody," and I was like, "All right, well, you guys have been together for years, so I know where I'm at on this totem." So
where would they have worked? In Atlanta or something?
No. Are you talking about for Watchmen?
Where would they have worked?
Oh, it was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
At Pinewood. So yeah, man. Ended up me and Drew did that last show. I got plastered. It was ridiculous. Looking back on it, it's super embarrassing. But this is a whole different thing. Um,
We can't.
we want
I'm sorry, but we can't talk about that last show without talking about how me and you walked across the street to Target to get a kiddie pool to fill with beer. Imagine two
uh,
grown men walking with a kiddie pool,
across
just
Colorado
proud of it
Boulevard.
too. Just
Yeah.
proud of it.
Mm-hmm. We
It
were
was
pumped
it
too.
was a nice little Instagram pics situation though, like people
Oh
coming
yeah.
in, seeing all the beer in the kiddie pool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lagunitas for that, by the way.
Oh my God. Yeah. So we had that was the reason for that. That last episode we had so much beer left, which was great. We were psyched, but it's not like we weren't drinking it. We were drinking it like steadily, but they hooked us up with so much that we were like, oh man, well we should invite all of our friends to do this last episode. And at that point, we thought it was the last episode. That was it. So we were, let's throw a party, and we filled that kiddie pool, and it was great. But yeah, so getting to this thing though. So me and Drew have been talking about what's going on with COVID-19, Black Lives Matter movement. I guess you could say movement at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And protests and world's on fire. That's pretty much the gist, right?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So we were thinking about it, and COVID-19 still, it's killing people, man. So we were thinking about things we can do to try to shine the light on positive things. And we're going to be reaching out to, small breweries and hopefully Black-owned breweries and, anything that we can help out, we're going to try. So we figured, what's the best way for us to try this? So this is what we do pretty good, I think. So we're going to give it a go and try to see where it can go,
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, in the midst of all this, it was called a pre-apocalypse. We're warming up.
What's funny is I guess it's not funny, but what's crazy is back in like 2017 maybe or 16. Do you remember
Yeah.
that year where a bunch of celebrities were dying? It was like 2017,
Yeah.
like a bunch of, and everybody was like, oh, I can't wait for next year. Like, let's just get over this year. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Little did they know 2020 was coming.
Yeah, that was the year Bowie died, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, fuck.
It's crazy stuff.
So, actually, another weird thing. So, I'm watching this documentary series. Well, it's documentaries, I guess, and then they're just branded as this one thing. I think they're called Regeneration.
Hmm.
And just
Netflix?
watched one. Yeah, they're on Netflix. Go check them out. They're like all these crazy documentaries about musicians and like people in music and like weird stuff that happened to them or political things that happened to them. And we just watched one, and it's the Johnny Cash one, and it's called Tricky Dick versus the Man in Black, or Tricky Dick and the Man in Black, and it's all about like Johnny Cash visiting the White House for meeting with Reagan, or not Reagan, Nixon, my bad, and Nixon had this whole agenda for him to like play these like political songs or whatever, like, but like songs that are like beating down the poor and like pretty messed up stuff. And what he didn't know was this was all during Vietnam. And a month before the show, Johnny and his wife and his band went to Vietnam to play for soldiers and like saw the war and like saw all this stuff. So he was asked to play these two songs at the White House for this thing. Didn't play them, and then played like super political, like hear the people, hear what they're saying, because these people in the streets that are rallying and doing protests and they're exercising their right and all they want to do is be heard, and you should probably, tune your ear to it instead of trying to fight them, because they got some stuff to say and they're the future. So it was, and me and Meg were watching it just now, and like, as you watch it, you're like, man, this is super relevant, like crazy relevant.
Yeah.
So
A lot
if
of
you get a
stuff like
chance, go
that.
check that out.
A lot of stuff like that pops up. I don't know if it's something to do with algorithm, like, like people are just searching stuff, and like YouTube videos will pop up of old like videos or things like the Marlon Brando speech or his Oscar speech where he like
Oh yeah,
gave
he
up
didn't
his
go.
speech for the Native American. Yeah. And so I think I watched an interview after that where he was on, I want to say Dick Cavett show.
That makes sense, I
Yeah,
guess.
and basically they asked him if he regretted it, doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, he's Marlon Brando. He's one of the coolest people who has ever lived. Of
Yeah,
course
he's that dude. Yeah.
he's that dude. Like he was like, I feel bad that people thought that I was being rude by messing up their night, but like this is something that needed to be heard, and Native Americans don't get a chance. Da, 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 da. And I mean, it's good. I mean, sometimes I hate the algorithm that comes from
Sure.
YouTube,
I
but
mean,
like
it can get depressing. Yeah.
I don't like when I talk about something and I see an image, or a
Oh,
response,
it's
like
creepy.
some
Yeah.
kind of like post on Instagram, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, how did you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that. I want to have my own free
Your
will
own
to,
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, that's not the case
like
anymore. Like everything listens. So.
everything listens. And but it's kind of crazy because now it's working in favor. Like now all of these things that we should have been looking at are visible now because it's all that
Oh yeah.
people are searching for. It's all people are talking about. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter. Let's now
Period.
it's in the
That's it.
mainstream. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the mainstream now.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I
Yeah.
mean, it's, dude, so
It should
far
have been in the
overdue.
mainstream at
Oh
the
my
beginning of
God.
time, but it's
Whatever, it is. I'm glad that there's light being shown on the things that matter right now.
yeah, for sure.
Um, and in that light, we're going to talk about positive things. They're going to be kind of, in these first couple of shows, they're probably going to be some things to take your mind off of what's going on, because we know that we're not historians or professors or whatever.
We're
So
not politicians and we're
no,
not medical professionals, so we
no,
can't tell you anything that's going
just
on.
keep rattling them off. No, no, no. We're not these things, but we are, I think, debatably entertaining when we're together. So we can try to do that for you.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, I mean, along with all these positive things, there's some terrible shit happening. So try to keep your mind off it for the next 45 minutes. So here we go. Shit, Drew, I don't even know where to start.
Well, let's talk about you going to Nashville, because that was like
right.
that's the first thing I think that we need to catch up, right? And I mean, obviously, you and I have caught up, and on our personal lives or whatever. We've talked.
Oh yeah.
Pretty boy calls me. That's the only grown man I know calls you to talk to for 45 minutes. I cannot believe this shit.
I don't know. Yeah, it's true story. I'm that guy that will call you and like, hey man, what's up? Let's talk for a whole hour.
But yeah, so it was the main reason why we quit the show. You moved to Nashville and started a new career and all that stuff, which you mentioned at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
For me, I progressed a little bit in my filmmaking career. I started directing commercials. I started working with new clients, and I got a raise with my main gig, which is kind of a documentary series.
Yeah.
So
award-winning documentary series. This is what we're trying to be modest. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to mention what it is, but award-winning. So
I did. Yeah, I did get a few Telly Awards for, which is like, it's kind of like the Emmys for branded content, and it's really cool. And actually, I didn't tell you this, but the trophies are coming.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna get the trophies.
This man gonna have a trophy case
I
of
had to.
his
I
own
go.
achievements.
They're gonna be right. I'm gonna put them in this little.
They're not from childhood. That's great.
I'm gonna put them in here, right here, so you can see them next to Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, I think I might have one. I might have Wayne Gretzky.
This is my 64 cubby. It used to be all like, you can't really see it, but it used to be all like organized so I could see all the different labels. But anyway, dude. Yeah. So and also since the podcast, I got married. So that's kind of awesome.
It was an event. Let's go into it for a sec. Oh, Pat was there. Pat was there.
Not only was he there,
Pat was also. So Drew was kind of bullshitting a little bit. He was like, "Oh man, do you want to come to this bachelor party? Like, it's like a road trip. I don't know if you're down. Like, I don't know." And I'm like, "Bro, I got a real salary now. I can do things like a grown adult." So he was like, "Oh wow, okay. Let's go ahead and do this then." So Drew's like, "All right, we're gonna have this bachelor party. It's gonna be 3 nights long. We're gonna do one night in New Orleans, one night in Memphis, and then one night in Nashville." And I was like, "Yes, sign me up.
We're gonna drink the whole time.
Just sign me up. Here we go." And that was basically what happened. We drank the whole time. I mean,
but let me say this.
Things that happened, but
let me say this one thing that happened though.
Hold on, which city? Just tell me which city first.
Well, it's nothing to do with us. It's the fact that we scheduled it. We had it all planned out. Pat was working with the boys to get all the Airbnbs and all that stuff ready.
Yeah.
And then a week before, we find out there's a hurricane coming to New Orleans. And all of a sudden, like, everybody's talking about, I don't know if we should do this, like, da-da-da-da, because we would be going with the hurricane to Memphis.
And we did.
What's crazy is we went out, like, I got there because I don't care. I lived in South Mississippi. I'm used to hurricanes. It doesn't bother me. But New Orleans was on one of those things where if they get hit really hard anymore, it's gone. New Orleans is gone. And so I get to New Orleans. A couple of buddies of mine were like, I can't do it. I gotta leave New Orleans. I'm too afraid of what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And it was understandable. I was like, fine, whatever.
It was sketchy.
And it was sketchy. All the bars were closed. We had to find some random.
There was like some weird thing. They were talking about like the river was going to overflow and like the ocean was going to hit a certain way. And it was like, if these two things really did happen, then levees were going to break.
Yeah, like, it would be, New Orleans would be underwater. And all of like that main area where all the bars and stuff were closed, like we couldn't do any of that. So we had to go to some breweries where we had like fun, because that's kind of what we like to do anyway.
Yeah. Shout out to Matt for hooking that up. Matt Madison killed it on the New Orleans spot.
We got lucky too, because we didn't really experience the hurricane that night. Like, we just did what we did, and then we got back into the apartment. I mean, back to Matt's house, and then we were cool.
Passed out, drunk.
And then we went to Memphis.
Oh, dude. The Memphis ride, dude, the first couple hours of that drive were awful. Like,
it wasn't fun.
No, I was hungover.
I
was hungover. We were driving through with a hurricane. So we're like, "Hey man, what's up, hurricane? Let's race. Let's do that." And it took forever to get to Memphis.
I felt like it.
Oh man, we hit that Jackson traffic at one point, and we're just like, dude, we're not getting there. Like,
we
had reservation
for Rec Room, I think.
Yeah, for Rec Room, and I think we had to push that like a half hour.
But they were cool about it, and they ended up letting us like. They were like, shout out to Rec Room, because that was one of my favorite spots when I lived in Memphis. They like let us keep a couch like a little bit longer because not a lot of people were there. But I do remember when we were driving up, Pat and I were in the back of the truck playing Mario Maker 2.
Yeah,
because it
killing
had
it
just
too.
came out. And
Oh
we
my
were playing
god,
the most
so good,
insane levels, like levels that only 0.01% or like whatever
dude.
have.
Just killing it.
It was, yeah, it was like maddening, but also like the only thing that was keeping me from not throwing up. Like I was like just focusing on, the switch, like not
Yeah,
hungover.
dude, that was actually, now that I think back at it, like that was like probably one of the coolest memories of that trip. Like just me and you were deep in that thing, man. Like we were like, we're gonna beat these top 3 levels that are like
Yeah,
the hardest thing that's posted right now.
yeah,
And I think we beat like at least two
we
or three
did.
of them.
We
Yeah,
definitely did because we would take turns and
yeah,
whatever. I think we ate
yeah.
at Central Barbecue downtown, which I'd never eaten at that location before.
I haven't either, and I still prefer the one on Central, but
I
um,
prefer the one on Summer. I don't know if you've ever
you
been to
do?
that one. Yeah, because there's no crowds and it's like a bigger
There's never a
space.
crowd. Yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
it was always on my way home, like back to Bartlett. So I
what
always saw
Summer?
it. Yeah.
You went there though, or no?
I don't know if I've been to that one.
I mean,
I've been
Central on
to,
Central is like the OG, like that's
yeah.
obviously, but the one on Summer, it's just like it's so much easier to do because
Mm.
there's not a long crowd, like all that stuff.
I'll keep that in mind next time. Well, if I can never go back down, shit. We were talking about that the other day. Like it's been rough, man. Not being able to go get some good barbecue. There's a Central
Mm.
in Nashville now.
What?
Yeah,
So why don't you just go to that one?
because it's downtown and it's right next to a grocery store. So, actually, there's no reason. There's no reason that we haven't been.
You gotta go.
We've
Like
been one time.
it's like the
We've been
same
one time.
Central. It's the
It's the
same
same
Central.
people. It's the same people. So it has
Barbecue nachos.
essentially the same. Yes, it still has them. I honestly, like, with everything in me, I love Central Barbecue. Like I have Central Barbecue T-shirts. Like
Yeah.
love them.
I get it shipped to me for one of my birthdays.
I
So
know, dude.
same.
It's fire. Yeah, but I mean, we've sent it to people for their birthdays. But it is not the same. Like I don't know if it's
the one
it's
in
the
Nashville
cooker.
or
Yeah, the one in
okay.
Nashville. I don't know. It's similar. It's really close, but
It's
there's
something.
like just something, Maybe it's the atmosphere. I don't know.
I heard that before that like I think it was one of those cooking shows that Catherine watches, but like there's something about the humidity or like something about Memphis, like whatever, that makes their barbecue just work,
I think
And I
that's
could
it,
see
dude.
that. Like I could see even the same products going into the Nashville one and still
Yeah,
not being as good as
yeah. I think, dude. You know how you season skillets and stuff.
Mhm.
So, but I think barbecues work the same. So, I think maybe their grill hasn't, or their smoker hasn't seasoned yet, or maybe I don't know.
Hmm.
But like, it's also like a kind of a bougie part of town. So you're like, I don't know if this dude. It just feels off. Like it just feels off. It's
Yeah.
weird, but it's Central Barbecue Nachos in here. So
Yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah,
no reason to not go get it.
for sure.
But anyways, enough of our love for barbecue nachos and Central Barbecue. There's a couple of topics that we want to hit because we did a pre-show like I said, but we want to hit a couple things. And last time we did not hit this thing that we wanted to talk about. We mentioned earlier that we play a lot of video games, and me and Drew got into the same game at the same time. So we want to do a thing like called what we're playing, and me and Drew talked about after the pre-show that we did that we might. I don't know if you've started, but we're talking about playing The Last of Us since the sequel just came out. Have you started?
I started
You started?
the remastered Last of Us. Yeah.
Yeah, on PS4. Okay.
Mhm.
How far are you?
I'm not very far.
How long have you played? I know kind of what that
Like
means.
like literally 30 minutes. Like it I've gotten to the point like there's no spoilers at this point, but
No,
I've
let's
gotten
hit with all
past
full spoilers. That game is old. Let's go.
yeah.
Full
Like
spoilers.
kid has died. I've gone
Messed
to
up.
Yeah, so crazy. And then I got to where I'm like physically fighting the resist. I don't really remember who they
Yeah,
are,
it's
but
weird. It's
they're
weird. I
like the
haven't started
resistance
playing.
or like they're something. They're like the
Yeah,
bad guys of The Last of Us or whatever. So
yeah.
like I'm in that. I'm like trying to figure out how to sneak and
Oh,
be
okay.
tactical about shit, because if there's something about Naughty Dog, they know how to make a game where you have to think. Like they,
Oh yeah.
like even if it's not an open world game, like you don't have to have an open world to like really be into a Naughty
Oh
Dog
yeah.
game.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, full disclosure, I love Naughty Dog games. Love them. Love them, love them.
Uncharted.
Like Uncharted, I've and I mean this might be a little, oh man, I'm good, but like um when I when Uncharted comes out, I usually play it either on hard or normal for my first playthrough to unlock crushing, and then I play it right after that on crushing, and I beat it on crushing. I don't stop, even though it's, dude, Uncharted 4 was so hard on crushing. Like, just there's one part of it where you're in a hotel or something, like an old hotel, and it's so hard, like incredible. Like I feel like I was stuck on that spot for like a good few days. It was awful. Like I hated it, but then I was like, this game's amazing afterwards.
Yeah.
But anyways, Last of Us might be my least favorite Naughty Dog game
Mm-hmm. Okay.
for a reason though. Um, it feels like Uncharted 1 through 3, I think, in gameplay, right? But it is so, and this is the part I don't like about it, it is so draining. Like, I cannot play that game for more than a half hour, an hour at a time, ever. Like, ever at all. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Now, I played it on PS3. I borrowed it to beat it. And I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it, even though the remaster came for free on PS Plus like not that long ago. So I have that version.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, playing that game, I was just like, dude, this is just a lot, you know? And like playing that on top of what's going on right now in the world, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy to think about, like the parallels between
Yeah, dude.
coronavirus and
Oh god, we're 2 steps away from Last of Us, dude.
dude, there was a like when this first started happening, there was videos going out of people who were leaving their coronavirus tests like this.
Oh no.
And like joking or whatever, and it was going viral, and that shit was hilarious to me. It's like everybody did, it didn't matter who you were politically, it didn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like everyone was scared of what was going on.
Oh man. But yeah, mask it up, gloves it up. Do you like it so far?
Last of Us, yeah, I like that kind of. I mean, I've been playing Apex Legends and Modern Warfare, and so I've been getting like really into this fast pace, like battle royale kind of. Well, I guess it's not fast pace. It
Oh, it's
depends on
battle
how
royale.
it depends on how you play it. But anyway,
Sure.
you know, that's a story driven game, Last of Us. So I really like those kind of games. I just haven't been into them recently. But I know that as soon as I play it one more time and I get another hour into it, I'm hooked.
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because like, you know, I told you before I was addicted to Skyrim. I played Skyrim for so long, which is
Nerd.
it's like come on, Elder Scrolls, let's go. Dude, yeah,
All right.
like I don't know. I'm one of those people who are really easily entertained. I can play a game, especially if it's story driven. I'm very empathetic, so you know, I get into them characters.
Yeah, yeah.
I love a good character story.
Do you have spoilers for that game?
For the first one,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I
You have
literally
no
don't
idea
know.
what's gonna happen.
I literally don't know anything about it.
Oh my god.
I don't know
I'm so
anything.
excited. I'm so excited for the
I
rest of these episodes we do because
all
we're gonna check in on your progress from now on.
all I hear about like Last of Us is just like how fucked up this character gets it or how fucked up this da da da. So I was watching a Donkey video. Do you know who that is? Video game Donkey.
Uh,
He
oh yeah, you sent me some stuff from yeah.
yeah, he was doing Last of Us 2 and he was saying all this stuff about how great it was or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then like all of a sudden he had this banner that said, spoilers ahead,
Yeah,
like spoilers ahead. And I had to stop it because I was like, no, I'm playing Last of Us so I can play Last of Us 2
yeah.
and not have it spoiled. I want to like go through the whole thing.
Dude, I had the same experience the other day. I was well, since moving to Nashville, lots of stuff's happened. Um, something happened. Meg totaled her car. We have a new car. We bought a house. We both have like full, salary jobs and stuff now. So I was doing domestic stuff. So I was cutting the lawn, and when I cut the lawn, I use the AirPods and do the noise cancellation and listen to podcasts. And one of them, dude, I swear to you, I almost wrecked the lawnmower into a tree. Like for real. I was like, no, don't say anything. They were like, all right, spoilers ahead, like 5 seconds. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta stop this thing. And luckily though, I got to skip ahead, and nothing spoiled for me so far. I think I might wait for a price drop on this thing because it's probably going to drop pretty soon. And I mean, I know how gnarly that game gets. Like I beat it on PS3, so I know what happens, and it's great. It's a great ending. Oh my, like, dude.
Wait,
if you started it,
Last of Us
play part
or
1.
two?
Yes,
Part one.
Yes, play to the end if you've started, because the ending it might be the best ending of any story-driven video game ever. Like, I'm not kidding. Like,
even better than
amazing.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was good though.
The end of Spider-Man was sad, bro. Like,
It was good.
sad.
It was so good.
This one is just like, what?
Mind blown.
Yeah. Well, there's like, it's funny. There's at the end. Oh, I'm not gonna spoil it. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
I was about to delete. Delete you.
We're stopping this recording right now. No. It's great, but it's such, for me personally. It was such a was it slog is the word? It was just rough, bro. Getting through that game,
Yeah.
it's just
emotionally
draining.
That sounds to me like that's the kind of game that I would really get into, because you didn't really like things. You didn't like Skyrim too much, did you?
Fun fact: never played Skyrim. I have 1 or 2 copies in that green cabinet behind me, though.
Dude, speaking of, I mean, that's like an action adventure game, but it's still kind of role playing. You don't play it like Pokemon or whatever. But speaking of, Catherine just got a new job at Game Empire up the street.
Oh,
yeah. So it's kind of sick. Like, she's gonna get to like be a part of all
discount. What's up with that discount?
We'll see.
I'll pay shipping and handling, my dude. I'll pay for it. And of course, the price of the product.
The very first time I went into Game Empire, they had a whole cabinet of 64 games, and that was like right when I was looking. Yeah, but the next time I went in, none. You know why? Bullshit. Because people like you and I, who got
about that 64 life.
Yeah, something about when all of us, like our generation, hit their 30s, 64s, 64 games, all of that stuff. Did you ever see that viral video of that guy who, like, girlfriend got him a gift for her, blah blah blah, and he was
it's
64?
Amazing. It's the best video.
And it's like it perfectly encapsulates that crack.
I actually recently told my wife, I was like, I think this 64 is my favorite video game system of all time. I want to give a shout out to this. This is also local. This is called
Oh, boy, can't read. Oh, boy, can't
My
read.
bad. No, this is actually the first time I've had this brewery. So, Mayday Brewery Inner Sanctum IPA. Also, a pretty high boy at a 7.6. So I'm not playing around on this episode. You know what I'm saying? Also, though, we're not trying to have 6 beers like we used to, which was a mess.
We only did that for like the first 5 episodes.
We did 3 of them in one day.
Well, let's not talk about that.
Episode 1, 2, and 2.5 for some reason in one day. Bonus beers, we did it. Not a good look, but also a good look. So
We have some very questionable episodes, but we don't have to talk
really
about
do.
that.
No, this is a new thing. So anyway, I wanted to talk. Well, actually, let me tell you what I'm playing. So actually, you said, speaking of Spider-Man,
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you playing it.
did you?
Me and Pat.
Okay,
Me and Pat are
okay.
friends on a PS4 network. I see him.
Oh yeah. Hit us up. North 901 and Drew.
AK and Drew.
True. No, AK Pasley is your thing on there.
Yeah, I've been thinking about changing it.
Try it. You can do that now.
I know.
PlayStation for that.
I want something cool. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna make up some lame shit, probably.
Probably
But anyway.
booger.
Anyway, actually, it'd probably be something like just gross. I don't know.
Nah,
But
I ain't
anyway.
doing no gross.
Okay. But anyway, I'm playing through the last chapter of the DLC for Spider-Man PS4. And dude, that game in the DLC gets so much harder than the regular game. It's crazy. Have you played through the DLC?
I don't even know if I have any of the DLC.
I bought the I waited for a discount.
I might
And bought
have.
I waited for what is it, the Game of the Year edition or something?
Yeah.
It go on sale, and I bought that. It has the DLC, so dude, that game is great. Oh man. And
Yeah. That
kind of brings me to like PS5. You think you're gonna get one?
I've 100%. But I will say this: you'd mentioned games going down in price like later on.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how many of these new games that are coming out for PS4 will be cheaper at the launch of PS5.
Dude, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
Because like I think it's going to fast track like all of those new games like going down in price, because I know that PS4 is going to have or like the PlayStation Network is going to have a sale for PS4 versions of the game.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, they've already announced like in the PS5 announcement, which I think I actually might wait for a they said that there's going to be like a color variance or like plates or something you can change out, but like I might wait for a full on special edition or something.
I
don't know.
Not long after the PS4 came out, a new version of the PS4 came out, and I remember you got that version, and I was really pissed because your side panel was like matte, and mine was like glossy and like, and I was like, damn. And it's a stupid superficial thing or whatever, but like, if you can wait for like, that's what I was gonna say about the games too. Like, if you can wait a little bit, but just be patient or whatever, you could get everything for cheap. I mean, I know like this was a long time coming, but like GTA 5 ended up being free.
Yeah,
and everybody plays that right now. I don't know if you know that. That is a massive online game right now.
Oh, it's one of the biggest games in the world. Also crashed the Epic Game Store. Like, wow. If anything could do it, though, it was that. It's the biggest game in the world. It's got one of the biggest online presences, like, daily.
Speaking of Crash, and speaking of
Crash
new
4
games,
Crash 4 looks sick.
It looks sick. It
looks super sick.
That trailer,
but
Naughty Dog, what?
Oh no, it's not Naughty Dog.
Originally was Naughty Dog.
Originally was Naughty Dog, but it's not now.
Who is it? EA?
No. It's oh man, what are they called? Games Games for Bob or something is the publisher or the
Really?
yeah. It's
Are
not
you
Naughty Dog at
sure?
all. I'm positive.
Oh, I heard something about Crash not being Naughty Dog, like when they did the Insane trilogy came out, like for
Yeah,
PS4.
Vicarious Visions did the remakes. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're great. I'm playing them on Switch, and they're great. They're hard as shit, and I hate them, but they're great.
Ooh.
I actually shout out to my old neighbors, Billy and Drew. We one year. All right, so obviously your next door neighbor, my next door neighbor parents and my parents were good friends, right? And in our neighborhood, that was kind of a thing. Like you were close to your neighbors back in the day, right? You're not like now where you maybe message them on Instagram or something. But back in the day, they'd come over and whatever, and they'd hang out and have beers and stuff on the back deck. And one year, me and my brother got an N64, and the same year, those fools got a PlayStation, the first PlayStation. And I was like, oh man, like that's sick. This is how old we are, okay? Dating ourselves. Oh, sick. It takes CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
I
I was
remember that.
pumped you could play a CD through that thing. Anyway, regardless of that, we throughout many sleepovers and hanging out, whatever, we ended up going through Crash 1, 2, and 3 throughout the years. And I swear to you, like being like a pretty decent Mario player, I think, dude, platforming games. Oh, that thing, like the way those controllers worked back in the day were trash. Like that game is hard as hell, like down to the bone. It is hard, bro. But and then this is the guy who bought like a PlayStation Classic for $20 when it went on sale at Target. I've turned it on twice, and I've played one thing on it.
You got to pull it back out.
Oh, it's out. It's plugged in.
You got to go ahead and play that now.
No. It's got like Grand Theft Auto 2 on it, which is trash. And
Oh, I remember.
there's a lot of trash stuff on there. You know what's cool though is like Tekken and all those games or whatever. Those are fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're getting caught up in video games. I'm playing that, and I'm also playing some other shit, but that's what matters right now. And we already went over what we're drinking. Drew's making me super jealous because I have legit. I have testimony from my spouse. I cannot find the thing that Drew is drinking right now. I went to fucking Walmart. Yeah, to try to find that thing because it said an app that I have said that it's there. It's not there. I was pissed that I even had to go in that store. It's terrifying. I saw a guy in a back brace yesterday, no shirt on under the back brace. One of those ones, those full joints when you break your neck and your back.
Ooh.
Yes, this dude had no shirt under that thing, walking through a Walmart, and I'm like, all I want is this new Stella. I don't need to see anybody in a full back brace. Terrifying. This man, dude, no shirt, nothing. Like, I'm telling straight up. And guess what section he was in, my dude? Guess.
Beer section?
Please guess. No. Please guess what section. This is the greatest thing ever.
No, toy section? What?
No. The camping and outdoors section.
Oh, he would be.
This man is not going camping in a back race.
Oh, damn.
Got me, dude. He got me. No disrespect to the back race community, but I'm just saying, like, you're not going camping. You just can't lay on the ground with that thing. I don't think it just doesn't work. But anyway, oh man. So this episode, oh man, what else do we want to talk? So in our pre-show, we talked about June 21st and how it's go skateboarding day and how it is all this whatever. It's also this past year it was a no hate day or skate for no hate or versions of that. Um, we wanted to promote, like, if you can go protest for equality and all of the great things people are protesting for, then by all means go for it, but be safe. Wear a mask, wear gloves, um, bring all the things that you need to do that. There's plenty of lists that great people have put up. Like, I know AOC put up a whole list of things on her Twitter. You can go check out for things that you should have on you when you protest, stuff like that. So if you're into that, do that. Also, like we said, we're trying to promote like positive things on this show. So if you have a positive thing, please email us. We'll try to support it. quickfixerpodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter. You can find us easily. Just type it in. What else? Man, I feel like we have at least 2 more topics left. So Quick Sixer is obviously 6 beers, 6 topics. We're kind of discounting the 6 beers section, but it's more like 4-ish this time. But
well, if you held up your end of the bargain, I'm on my third
3?
one right now.
Well, dude, I don't know. Mine are a lot heavier.
Yours are a lot heavier.
So
I guess I'll just have to drink this 4th one.
You might have to. I don't know. It might have to be that. That's the deciding vote, Dude, is that gold foil around the edge too?
Yeah.
Like a Modelo? Man.
Yeah.
Blowing me out, man. It's so jealous. I'm gonna find it one day. Don't worry.
It's like, let me just give it a little taste and I'll tell you. It's refreshing, and I know why they say it's like a summer. It's like
it's supposed to be higher alcohol content.
It's 4.5.
Is it?
Yeah, that's less. It's 5.1 for a regular Stella, I think.
Ooh, you alcoholic for knowing that? I don't know that.
Am I? or do I just drink Stella only?
You're pretty particular, yeah.
Well, I'm not going to deny that I'm an alcoholic. I'm just going to say.
Oh, sorry, Jane. We want to talk about some other things. Oh man, this inner sanctum really getting at me, my dude. 7.6.
Well, I know you wanted to talk about what we could do.
Oh,
what's that?
That's
Life
the
tips?
label. No, it has like the stuff on it, like ABV.
Well, I like that.
What kind of hops? The yeast. That's kind of cool. It's kind of like reminds me of like a Whole Foods food label.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is acorns from the Northern California country.
You know what? I remember when we were doing Quick Sixer and we were going to different breweries and stuff. And one of the big things that all these breweries, because we didn't really go to big breweries, like our bigger sponsors sent us stuff, but we went to like local or micro breweries or stuff like that. And one of their big things was they'd love to tell us like, we got into Whole Foods or like we got into Ralph's or we got into like, and it's like, it is sick that like we got to see breweries at that stage where they're like, we got distribution,
That's amazing.
It was really fun, because it was exciting for them too to get to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you brought this up. This is going to be a good round out, I think. That's kind of like the mission of this, I think, is to kind of make those same moments happen, like highlight the same, the same hustle, the same joy that you're getting, the shine you need, or you deserve, really. And there's plenty of people that are like, that we visited that were just like, who are you guys? And at the same time, we're like, who are you? Like, we don't know you either. Like, what do you got to say? So it was a back and forth. And, shout out to McLeod for letting us go there, that first go. Because that was like, I don't know about you, dude, but I was stressing. like that first live show that we did, stressing.
Well, there was a lot of elements that we couldn't control. Like the brewery was still running, like
Yeah,
their
there's
tap
guests
room was
there.
still open.
Yeah.
The, you know, whatever noises were going in the background just had to be in the podcast.
Yep.
But what's funny is when we got to that point in our career, podcast career or whatever,
Sure.
it didn't matter to our audience because they really enjoyed, like we got more people enjoying those videos. I mean, not videos, but those
Oh
podcasts
yeah.
because people like to hear those stories. It didn't matter if like you could hear a little background noise because that kind of created that ambience, like
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
so it was really fun too for us, even though it was stressful because every time we would like, I feel like there was a couple times we would mess up or whatever. Like people
Oh,
would give us a
100%,
like a
dude.
beer like right before, like while we're setting up,
Dude,
and we're
dude.
just like, all right, let me just focus. But
I was about the beer before, like 100%. That
yeah,
helped for me.
yeah,
But
yeah,
sometimes those beers were early, like
yeah.
really early.
Yeah, we would get there at like 11 o'clock sometimes, and but it was
Hmm.
cool though because all of those places, like most of those places had tap rooms and they already had samplers ready. So we could go through like different beers or whatever.
Yep.
And those beers
Mm.
were unforgiving at sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say this. Out of all the places that we went to, I really enjoyed drinking with the owner or drinking with the brewmaster because it
Yeah.
made their beer taste better knowing I was sitting next to the person making it, explaining it to me, and I
Yeah.
understood what I was drinking. That was
Yeah.
cool.
I think that, it's the coolest thing, and I'm hoping we can get some support from some local Memphis breweries down the road. But it's cool, like you said, like being sitting there. I mean, like, oh, you're the dude who thought of this recipe, or
Mhm.
you're the guy who, like, man, couldn't go to bed because you thought of something and you had to write it down, and then the next day you went to work and, like, this is our highlight for the fall or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't think when we did those first run of shows that we were going to run into experiences like that, but it kind of, like, it elevated the, I don't know, the personally, for the, like, the drive for me. I was like, oh, right, well, if these dudes are down with what they're doing, like this is their thing, then we're going to try to do as many as these as possible. Like, we're going to go hard. And I think we did. In like a 6 month span, we visited multiple breweries and did multiple shows in a tap room with,
Yeah.
like, the owner or the brewmaster or both.
And
And every experience was unique, I think.
I have to shout out your skill as a producer that you've learned in the film industry because you set up maybe the first couple, but then after that, because of what you did, they were telling their brewery friends, like
Mm-hmm.
people that they met. Like we ended up going to places because like of the great experience that the previous brewery had or like whatever. And we had to start scheduling it out because it was a kind of a, demand thing. Like we were like, okay, well,
It
let's
was
try this
cool.
place out. And then all of a sudden, I remember we got linked up to that one in Boyle Heights because so and so said, I can't remember which other brewery said something about it, but they wanted to do something. So that was really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. No, I appreciate that. It was definitely something that, like, I don't know. Maybe it's obviously this section of the show is for people that have listened to our past stuff, but also for people that are trying us out for the first time and seeing how hard we actually try. So when at the front of the show, when we talked about how we're going to try to highlight these places that maybe you really love, and you're like, man, I really hope that this virus and all of this stuff that's happening doesn't shut this place down, because I really love their their beer and like I love the atmosphere of the place or whatever. Those are the places we're trying to highlight, you know. So I think what Drew's saying is we really when we try something out, we really go for it. And we're really going to try and help whatever way we can. So if these places are struggling and you can buy their beer or you can do pickup or something, like we're going to try to tell you how you can do that. So that the places that you love, like, I mean, these people aren't hurting. Like Bearded Iris, they're in grocery stores here. So they're not hurting, but people like them who I know started out small and are growing, we want to help that growth, even if it's just free advertisement. Like we don't care even if that's it. And I mean, down the road, if we get a big shipment like we did with your boys at Lagunitas, then so be it. We'll try that too, and we'll of course support them because they had our backs when we were nothing. So, I think that's the idea behind this, right? What do you think? Is like
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think like moving forward, we want to highlight. I mean, we don't want to beat you over the head with something that is annoying, but we want to highlight something positive or whatever, and we want to promote something. Like obviously, this is the beginning. This is the start of our new era of podcasts, and we, right now, without being able to be around other people and without being able to I know like cities are opening and it's kind of crazy, but like we have to find something to occupy our time, keep our mental states, at a good level without, being around people.
Yeah.
So, I think like doing something positive, like Pat said at the beginning of this podcast, like trying to find something, whether you are protesting in these Black Lives movements or Black Lives Matter movements, or are you, being safe by wearing your mask, like it doesn't matter your political position on things. Like shit is bad right now. And to be good to other people is the only thing that we have to get through it.
Yeah.
And, we can't, like we said at the beginning, we're not doctors. We're not politicians. We can't help you with that, but we can help you by like giving you suggestions, like visit your local brewery. Mm-hmm. We are a beer podcast. We talk about beer. We talk about random shit. We bullshit with each other. We get drunk. But at the end of the day, if we're going to start this back up and we're going to do something positive, we might as well promote something that we like, which is beer. And we like local beers. And local beers are the only reason that we had a podcast for our second season of Quick Sixer, because they all sponsored us each episode. And we got to like travel around LA. We got to travel around Southern California because of beer. And that's not going to change. Like us liking beer, that's not going to change. Like we're always going to like beer. So I think, at this time, do what you can for all the movements you believe in. And if you want to listen to us, listen to us. Let's
100%. Come have a beer with us, because
come have a beer with us.
Can't have a beer with anybody else right now.
And if you're gonna have a beer with us, it might help if you just go and order something from your local brewery, because every city has a microbrewery now. God damn. Everybody has a microbrewery.
Like, calm down, guys. Like, calm down.
Stay trying to brew some beers.
Everybody needs their own thing. Like, come on. God, we know all you guys. Oh, I homebrewed for 10 years and now I'm doing a microbrewery. Bro, chill out. You don't even need no microbrewery. Like, come on.
You know what's funny about all this is like Pat has his whole family, by the way, shouts out to the artist family, have been obsessed with Budweiser, not Bud Light, not anything. That straight American beer.
That's right. That's right.
You can't
You mean
really.
You know they remember like 2 years ago they just named their beer America.
Yeah.
Like I was tripping.
You think I
Fourth of
forgot about
July,
your
I was like,
Budweiser
we need
shirt?
to get a 12-pack of Americas. Like,
Mm-hmm. That's straight America Spears.
oh man, it bums me out too because there's a Budweiser brewery down the street from Sherman Oaks, like right where the 405 meets the 101,
Do know
and
that,
I never ever toured it, and you could take tours.
bruh.
No, that's a
And then,
failure.
like, if you keep going down that, if you keep going 210, wait, what's that? 210 that's above us, above Colorado, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Miller Lite, Miller Brewery.
Oh yeah.
You keep
Oh,
going
dude,
down that
their
way.
brewery's cool. Like, remember that
You
they
went
have,
to
like,
Miller
chain-
and you didn't go to Bud?
No, we didn't go. Remember, we didn't go when we went to Arrowhead Lodge.
Oh yeah, it was right
We
next
saw
to it.
them. We were like, oh shit, that's cool. Like they had their tanks or whatever outside are like Miller cans, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was like, man, look at that thing. It's like a giant beer. It was like a 6-pack, I think. It was
Easily
cool.
entertained.
Yeah. Your boy just dug out. Like, oh man,
Oh, beer?
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's 7:31 my time, so I gotta go. But we need to close out with little things, and little things for you guys that don't know, and you're about to know right now are since our last version of this show, we tried to close out with something, little things that we appreciate about what's going on, or like little thing that's cool and maybe other people should check out. So my little thing is, I don't even know if I did a little thing last episode. Like
You did.
I did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, my little thing is this show. So it's going to be my little, I don't know, haven to promote positivity, I think, for the foreseeable future. And it's also the hour of when I get to hang out with my best friend. So that's my little thing. I love this guy, and he's absolutely a weirdo. And if I told you half the things that happened,
no, wait, that's a little thing. You said a little thing. You weren't going to talk about all this.
Then he would have to murder me, and I think that's my little thing. Drew's
Wait,
Drew's
Drew's
finite
secret
list of things he can murder me for is my little thing. Also, shout out to Matt Madison for hopping on a call with me. His other best friends. When Drew couldn't. All they did was text him and tell him how shit he was.
Look, I don't. I hear about that
calling
shit.
him so much bad shit.
I don't need to hear that. I don't need to hear
amazing.
that. It's a good little thing. The first one, not the second one. The second one about me. I don't need people knowing.
Shout out to
I
Bearded
guess
Iris too.
You already shouted them out.
I shouted them out like 3 times already. But I just wanted to say one thing about them. I mean, no disrespect to Mayday. They're in Murfreesboro, but I think Bearded Iris might be the best brewery in Nashville proper. So that's all I wanted to say. Also, their beers only come in like 4-packs and 16-ounce cans. So I'm like, where's the bottling at? I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But you go. Where's your little thing?
So my little thing would be, and this is due to the times.
Sure.
It's like it's just like someone giving you a quick nod, like acknowledging that you exist, because especially with the social distancing thing going on right now, a lot of people don't care. A lot of people don't acknowledge you. And
shout out Florida.
Before
news down there, bro.
Like before, when people, didn't acknowledge you, it wasn't a big deal because you could just walk past them and brush them on the shoulder and just be like, what the fuck? But now, if you do that kind of shit to somebody, you're putting their life in danger. So like, I guess it's a big thing, but really it's a little thing. Just like acknowledge other people, if I get acknowledged, it makes my day. I know that they see me. I know that they're gonna stay 6 feet away from me, and I appreciate that. And that's all I have. I have a lot of things to be thankful for, but that one particular little thing has affected me and my wife a lot, and we have to deal with that all the time in LA with a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people who don't care about you. Man, I hate that. But if you are one of those people who care and have empathy and can see other people that exist in life, thank you. Thank you for being there for me. I appreciate it. I appreciate living my life because of you.
Yeah. Weird little quick story. There's an app called Nextdoor, right? And it's basically a neighborhood app, right? And you can communicate with your neighborhood. And this past weekend, me and Meg had a garage sale because our neighborhood was having garage sales. And we're like, this seems sketchy, but we have a bunch of stuff we want to get rid of. And shout out to the two in Tennessee where we live that wore masks. Psyched on you guys. Not psyched on the rest of you guys. Didn't need your money. Sorry. But yeah. But yeah, so this is going to be, I don't know when we're going to do it, every now and then, I guess, whenever we get a chance. But this is going to be our thing for now on. We hope you guys tune in. This has been Quick Sixer Podcast Happy Hour with your boys, Pat Artist, Drew Pasley, getting back in the swing of things 3 years later. You know, don't say it's a comeback. You know what I'm saying? What it is.
I never left. I never left.
We never left. Never. But yeah, so if you guys have anything to send us, quicksixerpodcast@gmail.com. Go ahead and send us that. Go ahead and check out this is gonna be the first one, so hopefully you download it. But I think we're gonna be on Spotify.
I like that.
You like that? Yeah. A lot of people like Spotify, so go and check it out on that. If we're on there, I think we are on there. Obviously iTunes, all the other stuff that you're gonna be listening to your things on. And I think I want to end this with if you have somewhere that we should be highlighting, please write in. Please. Or even like drop it in a comment, in a review, or something like that, because we will reach out to those people. I swear to you, I will annoy somebody until they acknowledge me. So write in and we will get back to those people who need to be heard. But yeah, and I guess until then, I mean, it's been your boys, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, boy.
It's your boys!
Goodbye.
No. You were saying something.
What? What am I saying?
What were you saying?
I didn't say anything.
That. No, you were about to say something.
I was going to say, it's your boys.
Oh, shit. Are you ready for it? Let's count it down, though. 3.
It's your boys.